Hi, this is Eric Martin with Board Game Geek. I'm here with Sander Vernines of Santamer. And we're looking at Alarm, their Spiel 2013 release. And just hoping you give an overview of the game.
Alarm is a fast, fun family game. It's a quick game to play in between. It has very simple rules. It's a game with elimination, but it doesn't take too long when you're out of the game. So it's still interesting if you get out of the game. It's interesting and it doesn't take too long to wait for the second game. So the game is pretty simple. When it's your turn, you take the top card of the deck, you show it to the other players, and you give it to one of the players. It's a game for 3 to 6 players. You're playing a burglar and you're trying to get into houses, and there are some things that can happen. You can find a guarding dog, a chain, a lock. You can even meet the police. That's not a good thing as a burglar. So those are the bad cards, because if you have 2 police cards or 3 dogs or 4 chains, 4 padlocks, or 2 dogs, 2 chains and 2 padlocks, you're out of the game. You get eliminated. There are also pretty good cards, the loot cards, the money. That's why you work, of course. So you will need them for the finals. But there's a small risk. If you collect too much money, if you have 5 loot cards, you're also eliminated because you get too slow and you have too high profile, so they will catch you. Luckily, there are also good cards that can help you out. There is a bone that keeps the dog busy. There are keys that unlock the padlocks, and there are bolt cutters to cut the chain. There are no free donuts for the police, so there's no counter for the police card. There is a luck card, and a luck card lets you eliminate 2 bad cards. So you can eliminate a police and a dog, or 2 padlocks, or any combination you want. This card is instant use, so you have to use it immediately. These 3, they stay in front of you if you don't have the card, and you can use them afterwards. Then there's one more card, that's the Steal a Loot or the Lost Loot. The player who gets this card has to steal a money card from one of the other burglars. So most of the time that's a good thing, unless you have 4 money cards, you don't want this card. And last but not least, the most fun card on the game is the Panic card. The player who gets this card has to give one of his cards to the left or to the right, his choice, and that player has to give a card to the next player, to the next player, to the next player. Important rule is that you can't give a card that you just received. So if you have a dog and a lock, and I give you a dog, you have to give the lock, so you have to see what happens. If you have no other cards, you can give that card away. The panic only stops when you get back at the player who has the panic card, or when a player gets eliminated during the panic. Once in the game, you have 1 phone call and you can call your lawyer. Let's say you have 1 police card and somebody gives you a 2nd police card, you would be out of the game. You just call your lawyer and he takes care of it, and the card gets discarded.
That 1 card?
Yeah. There is 1 special card, and most cards are just the lawyers. There's 1 card that you can use, you just shuffle it in. You don't know whether it's in the game. That player has no lawyer, but it's an informant for the police. And he doesn't discard the card, he just gives it to another player that has not yet received the card this turn. So it adds a little bit of tension to the game. So it's a quick, fun game.
And you just be the last one in the game.
Yeah, you try to be the last one in the game. One important rule is because we didn't like to have a game that take too long when the players were out. So when there are 2 players left in the game, the end game starts, the final game. And in the final game, you literally have to buy time, because you have to put a money card on the discard pile to play. If you have no money at the end, in the end game, and it's your turn, you're eliminated.
All right. So you're walking that edge on what you're trying to do there.
You need the money for the end game to win, but if you collect too much, you're out.
You don't get there anyway.
Yeah.
All right. Thanks very much for the overview.
You're welcome.